The future, a relentless, desperate wasteland ravaged by nuclear war. With the destruction of the internet and search engines such as Google, accurate information about the past is traded like currency. Two brave travelers are commissioned with the dangerous task of going back through time to gather as much information as they can to find out about the late 20th and early 21st centuries in hopes that a future society may rebuild what was lost and avoid the horror of a smoldering radioactive planet. But there is a catch. The travelers' journey back across eons of time is a one-way trip, leaving them stranded in the past.
Wait, what?
There's no way to communicate their findings to the future other than burying reinforced time capsules in the ground.
Are you serious?
In the hopes that one day recordings such as these will be unearthed to provide a glimpse of the world that once was.
All right.
This is the mission of
Yeah.
the crispy, coated
Yeah, just do it.
robots. And it must succeed. Hello, I am Jim,
And this is George.
and we are the crispy coated robots.
Yes, we are.
And just to summarize what we're doing here.
Well, we're collecting data to send back to the future about things of cultural significance of the late 20th century and 21st century.
Yes, and this, of course, is episode 19. Thank you guys for listening to our previous transmissions, episode 19. And we're talking today about the worst kids' movies. We want
And
to steer you away, yeah. from
Games played in gym class.
Oh, yeah.
Good
Okay.
games played in
them.
gym
Good
class.
games played in gym class. Okay. All right, so we're going to start the list with the worst kids' movies at number 5.
Well, before we do that,
Yeah, okay,
we have a guest coming by today. She'll be here in a few minutes. She's on her way right now. It's American film and television director and screenwriter Jennifer Chambers Lynch.
Oh,
And
wow.
She is the daughter, as you know, Jim, of filmmaker David Lynch.
Oh, wow. Eraserhead and Blue Velvet and all that stuff?
Yeah, actually, she was in Eraserhead.
Really?
It got cut out, but yeah, she was in the original cut of that, if you believe that. And she's an author of a book, The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer, of course, from Twin Peaks.
Okay, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And she directed and wrote
Man.
Boxing Helena.
How'd you get this? I'm kind of excited about this.
Well, I know a guy that knows a guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And but anyway, she's done a lot of television writing, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Hawaii Five-0, The Strain, American Horror Story, and everything like that. So I am super pumped. I want to talk to her, about her, but more than that, I want to find out what it is to live with somebody like David Lynch as your father. So that's got to be interesting.
Yes,
So anyway,
yes.
should be here. She's on her way. Should be here anytime.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, good job on that, George. So worst kids movies and best games played in gym. So at number 5, what is your both of those categories? What you got?
Well, for gym, when I was in gym, and I was in gym for 2 years, PE, basketball would be my
Really?
number 5. Although we didn't play team basketball, we just played like around the world or horse, which
Not a lot of running.
you would yes, just mostly shooting at the basket, and you would spell horse, which I've never really understood why.
It was a horse, right? Yeah.
But you spell horse, and with each bucket that you make is
Yeah.
it spells a letter of horse. So now that I'm talking about it, it's really odd. Why, there was no horse in basketball, gratefully. But so that's my number 5, the basketball that we would get to play.
Yes. Okay. And the
I
kids
was not very good though.
The kids movie.
I mostly spelled whore.
Nice.
Top 5 worst kids movie ever would be the 2004 Super Babies Baby Geniuses 2.
Wow.
Surprisingly, they actually made a sequel to the first Baby Geniuses. I don't know who allowed that or got away with it. What's interesting is it's got John Voight.
So it's a really waste of talent. It's a tremendous waste of talent. In these movies.
They communicate with this clever baby talk, and they're
the worst.
John Voight is a media mogul. He's going to kidnap kids.
It's
and,
awful.
This guy was nominated for 4 Academy Awards. He won for The Champ, and he was in Runaway Train, Midnight Cowboy, all that stuff. And here he is.
Yeah, I don't know how that actually happened.
And Scott Baio.
Scott Baio.
That
yes.
alone would qualify for this list, as far as I'm concerned.
All right. So my list at number 5 for the kids movie, I'm going to do a reverse order review, is a movie called Mac and Me from 1988. Now, Mac and Me.
Well, unfortunately, yes.
Mac and Me was it's a tremendous ripoff of E.T. So E.T., for those in the future, was a movie that was very popular by Steven Spielberg about an alien coming to Earth and befriending a young boy. Well, the same thing happens in Mac and Me, but it is just awful.
6 years later.
It is awful. It was sponsored by the restaurant McDonald's, and McDonald's is in a couple key scenes of it, and it is just probably the worst thing you've ever seen in your life. The creature is awful. A kid flies from a cliff on a wheelchair. It is a bizarre
the
film.
The boy actor actually was in a wheelchair. That's how he got the gig.
Wow.
No, he really was. And a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's just the worst. It's not the worst for me, but it's number 5. And number 5 for me, best game, Jim, was the relay races. You had a chance to get 5 people on the team.
So you were a runner.
Well, not really. I was the slow one. I was hopefully in the lead,
So do they put the slow kid at the front or at the end? Are you the one that
I would always be in the
begins?
middle that kind of would either lose it or go against another slow kid and possibly keep up. So it was kind of...
Nice. Okay.
So there you go, relay races. So we're on to number 4. And what you got, George?
All right. So for number 4, for the gym class... it's badminton, which is basically, it's like tennis, but not really, and volleyball. I mean, it's like if they were too lazy to take down the volleyball nets.
Yeah.
They were but the best part is you play with this thing called a shuttlecock.
Yes, or a birdie, but shuttlecock's
birdie,
better.
I guess, yeah. And, it's this spherical, conal shape feather thing with a cork on an end. And I don't know if it's a real sport or I don't know, but if it was raining, that's probably what we were doing.
I took badminton in college.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it was very interesting. It was a lot more competitive, and I actually did sweat.
So what are the differences?
People that actually can play, that actually really cared about it.
So are you playing on a team?
No, playing against good players who are, I thought it was definitely a class I was going to just ease through, but it was tough.
I seriously didn't know that it was to that level.
Yes.
Of seriousness.
Oh yeah.
So were you the slow kid?
I was the slow kid. Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter because you're basically standing there, provided you've got a good swing.
Yeah. As long as you had a good reach,
So what happened? Why did you not pursue a career in that
Let's
sport?
move on to your movie.
Okay.
It's too depressing.
So 2003, The Cat in the Hat. It's one of the most popular Dr. Seuss children's books, okay? But this is just an overcolor, breakneck speed disgrace. It's just a mess. 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was so bad, though, because there's a sequel to the children's book called The Cat in the Hat Comes Back.
Yeah.
This was so bad that his widow sued to keep it from being made. I am 100% serious. And it's Mike Myers, which Mike Myers, I like him in Wayne's World. I like him in, the Shrek stuff he's done, the Austin Powers stuff.
Yes,
the first 2 are funny. They tried to have that humor in this, and it just, for a children's movie, they kind of wanted to be everything to everybody, and it doesn't work because you've got some very questionable things that the cat is saying, and innuendos and everything.
And the thing about it too, I got from the performance is he was just doing an impersonation of Bert Lahr, who was the Cowardly Lion in Wizard of Oz the whole way.
Yeah, I can see that
the whole way through the whole movie.
But even barring that, the story makes no sense at all. But it was. Some say it was the final nail in the coffin of his career for Mike Myers for this, but it's
bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. So I can. That's a solid 4.
All right, number 4 for me is pretty solid too. It's the Garbage Pail Kids movie from 1987. Garbage Pail Kids were collecting trading cards, and they decided to they had grotesque scenes on these trading cards. So they decided to make a movie where all these kids were, a movie's hard to watch when there's no story, but this one's really hard to watch because the characters are just so disgusting, and they erase the talents of Anthony Newley, the songwriter, is in there too, and that's all I really want to say about it. Please avoid in the future the Garbage Pail Kids movie, which probably is destroyed anyway. As for me, one of the best games. This is kind of like your bad mint for me. Hula hoop. I couldn't do it, you know, so I just kind of like tried the whole hour, talked, had a good time. Did accomplish the hula hoop, but it was probably my favorite time to hang out with people during gym class.
Only place a hula hoop belongs is Hudsucker Proxy. So your Garbage Pail Kid thing.
Yeah.
One of the voice actors, Jim Cummings.
Oh, yeah.
He did Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
He did a lot of Disney stuff and even beyond Disney. He openly admits to having been any part of it, and he actually went out of his way to protest the movie.
Oh, really?
So he starred in it, and then when he saw it in the theater, he joined a campaign to boycott the movie, and they got it.
A movie that paid you to be in.
It eventually caused it to be pulled from the theaters.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah,
some movies are just terrible. So we're on to our third, and I believe if you want to, we can take a short intermission. It's up to you. If you
I need to get this out of the way. I can't stand this. Super Mario Brothers,
this
1993. This is my number 3.
Okay.
And I'll get back to the favorite sport, but this. So the creators, they kind of wanted it to be a prequel to the video game that was kind of the true story behind the inspiration of it. And it just doesn't, it's another one of those that just doesn't make sense. The idea is that 65 million years ago, a meteor crashes into Earth and it kills the dinosaurs, but somehow splits the universe into 2 parallel dimensions.
It's that complicated? Wow.
Well, who knew? But the surviving dinosaurs cross into a new dimension and everything. But it's got good actors. I don't know what it is about good actors making these bad children's movies, but Bob Hoskins is Mario.
Yeah.
John Leguizamo is Luigi. But the thing that really gets me, one of my favorite actors,
going on this.
Dennis Hopper, is President Koopa. And I will admit that anytime he's on screen, I will watch Dennis Hopper, but you have to watch all this other stuff. But the sets are pretty cool. They kind of look like they're from a Pat Benatar video or something of that time. But the plot is thin, and honestly, the best acting comes from the puppet Yoshi, the little dinosaur guy. But it was so bad. Bob Hoskins, when they asked him in an interview, "What's the worst job you've done? What's your biggest disappointment? And if you could edit your past, what would you change?" So 3 separate questions in that interview. All 3, he came up with Super Mario Brothers, the movie. So,
yeah, it's bad.
Favorite game, though, and the 4th favorite in gym class, volleyball.
Oh,
and, this was because I took PE very late. I was actually a senior with a fellow by the name of Zach Bridwell, and we were in the freshman class of PE. So that makes it really exciting when you're so much taller than these other guys and you're playing volleyball. And it's just spike, and And our favorite thing, this is kind of a jerky thing, but we would sit there and talk, and when the ball would be hit to us, we would try to hit it into the bleachers. And so it would disrupt the gameplay, and it did. And but we were too big for any of the other freshman kids that were in there with us to really say anything. So they just despised us. But
yeah, well, I mean, great.
So I like volleyball, probably not for the sport itself,
just for the hitting,
just messing up other people's good time.
Well, before we take an intermission, we'll get to my third because it's the same thing. It's volleyball, but mine was called Jungle Volleyball. This was a middle school game that I played that basically you had no rules. You can hit it as many times as you wanted on the other side.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, anarchy.
It was anarchy. As long as the ball got over the net somehow, it can go out in the hallway and come back as long as it didn't hit the floor. So
I think we were playing that and we didn't know it. Everybody else was playing volleyball. We were playing that.
Okay, so Jungle Volleyball is my third. So we're going to take a little intermission. We have something very, very special for you. We're going to do that. And don't forget, our special guest is on the way, too.
Oh, yeah. She's going to be here any minute.
So, okay, so stay tuned. Little intermission. I'll come back with my third worst
Jennifer
kids
Chambers
movie.
Lynch.
Yeah, so hold on.
Welcome back to America, to humble Texas, to be a part of me, into humble Texas. Welcome back to humble Texas. We give very much. Welcome back to humble Texas, all over this world.
Wow, that was nice. You know, it's good to take a little break.
Nice is a way to describe it, I guess. Yeah.
Very good.
Very soothing.
Very soothing. So my third kids movie is not very soothing. It's a loud mess. It's my most recent film on the list, probably on both of our lists. It's called Judy Moody and the Not So Bummer Summer. We're trying to watch a movie with the kids one time, and we rented this thing. I almost said piece of. It came out in 2011. I know the Judy Moody books are very popular.
Oh yeah, they are. My daughter read them.
But this movie is completely a mess, and it's got animation that's annoying. The lead actor is annoying. Heather Graham is in it. She's annoying.
Oh,
so
wow.
not a lot of things to say about this besides avoid. It's very annoying. So there you go. That's my number 3 worst kids movie. On to George now for number 2.
So I'm going to do sport first.
Okay.
Kickball. And basically it's baseball, but you use your feet. It's done outside. There's a lot less equipment than baseball because you don't have a bat, you don't have mitts or anything like that. But the fundamental rules, you're trying to run to first, second, third, make it home and everything. But you kick that little red bouncy ball. And again, Zach Bridwell and I had an advantage over all those freshmen. So
You're kicking it into the stands.
Honestly, just try to kick it into the parking lot and disrupt the game, and so the disruptors. For the movie, though, my number 2 movie is actually your Garbage Pail Kids movie.
Oh wow!
For the same reason. So we have a little overlap here. So that tells me automatically I know this is going to make it into the capsule.
Oh
so,
yeah, that definitely is going to make it into the capsule.
So that's going to be one of the 7 that make it into the capsule this week. But they try to use the gross humor, and it's disgusting. If you know anything about the Garbage Pail Kid cards, they were done as a satire of these different things. Like, you had Atom, Bomb, and, it was always all this gross out humor, which seemed to work in that medium. That was fun.
Yeah.
But in
I thought they were
movie,
like a parody of Cabbage Patch Kids, weren't they?
They were a parody of the Cabbage Patch.
Yeah,
so kind of in response. So that's what made it appealing is the Cabbage Patch, they were so sweet and, everything. So this was a direct response to that where, it's like, let's go the opposite end of the spectrum, make it gross, make it disgusting. But the animatronics that they use, and they had little people as the actors, and these horrible costumes that I think some of them might have even been paper mache. I mean,
Yeah, it's like,
it's
how can
just
you believe this is like a living being? It looks like
so gross,
right?
right?
Mascot. So
And the plot just doesn't. There's not a plot.
No.
It's just, and maybe because they were basing it on the cards or something. But there's this state home for the ugly, and 2 of the inmates are Santa Claus and Gandhi.
what?
Santa Claus, I don't know if he's ugly or Gandhi. Maybe Gandhi.
I don't think I made it that far in the film.
Well, be grateful. But and like I said before, Jim Cummings, you know a movie is in trouble when one of your lead voice actors protests the job that he himself did. So
Yeah.
But that's my number 2.
Okay, so number 2 for me, I'll start with gym class. That is crab soccer. This was soccer where you had to get on all fours and you had to walk on your, like you were a crab doing a crab walk, but you had to play soccer. So it was a little more challenging.
I don't think that's for me. I don't.
You ever played crab soccer?
No. I mean, it sounds great, but I don't know that I could do that much. At least
But you weren't. You had your arms behind yourself and you had your legs, so you were kind of like moving like a crab. You weren't with your belly up, not your backup.
So what protects your crotch from the ball?
Nothing.
Oh,
So that could have been a good disruption for you. You could have been kicking people, kicking the ball in certain areas to disrupt the game.
yeah. No, we didn't do that. I don't know why.
All right.
No.
Number 2 for me was the original Baby Geniuses from 1999. A complete waste of time. We rented this like in a hotel. Like I was.
You paid.
You paid for this. Okay. We're like, the kids were young. They wanted to watch something. It just came out. It's like, we can watch this. It was in the theaters 2 weeks ago. So we watched this movie, Waste the Talents of Christopher Lloyd is in it.
Yeah, right. I remember
Kathleen Turner is in it. This is just, I'm sure it made money because there was a sequel, but it was just a complete mess. And, some kid movies, which make a good kid movie, which we'll probably do a list in the future, is something for the kids mainly, but some little things for adults.
The Pixar things are great.
Yeah.
Because they've got humor at the adult level that adults can appreciate and understand, but there's plenty for the kids.
And the one rule of having a movie or anything kind of, to follow along is you got to care about the characters. And I had no care about any of these babies, why they were talking, why Christopher Lloyd had the goatee and was the professor. I mean, like I said, I was very upset. I wasted a lot of money on this. But all right, so that's the end of that.
That's one of those movies, though. You said you saw it in a hotel room. I would call down to the desk and get a different hotel room.
I got a problem here.
not just. I mean, let's pack everything up, kids. We're going to go down the hall. So
okay. So here it is. Bum, number 1 for George.
All right. Again, special thanks to Zach Bridwell, if you're listening. We were dodgeball monsters.
Yes.
We were so good, but we had a strategy. There were so many kids in this gym class that you couldn't really dodge at the first rounds of dodgeball. Basically, You're throwing the red rubber ball that we used in kickball. You have like 5 or 6 of them, and they just put them out there, and it's kind of like tag with the ball. But if you catch it, then the person that throws it is out. Okay.
I'm just going to tell you, this is my number 1 too, but I think you're describing what I was talking about. It was called war ball.
A war ball?
Yeah. So basically, I think having the balls in the middle and having the fact that you could just peg
and it's
people,
all in the gymnasium.
Yeah, you'd run up and get the
outside.
ball, and you could peg somebody right in the, and then it gets really personal. Some guys, like one guy is left, and like 3 other people are just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
it's a bloodbath. Yeah.
I'm just going to save us some time. Say it's my number 1 too.
Okay.
But we called it war ball. So,
yeah.
But it is dodgeball, really.
Oh, well, a ball by any other name, right? So, but this, there were so many kids. What Zach and I would do, we would go hide under the bleachers until it kind of thinned out, and then we would emerge, and you could move around because you can't dodge if there's somebody right to your extreme left and right. That's. We would emerge. We never got caught, or maybe nobody ever cared or whatever. We weren't very good, but we were good at hiding. So, dodgeball. And you try that sound that the ball would make.
The rubber ball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when it hits somebody.
Yeah. So my number 1 movie, though, you've already covered, and that's Mac and Me.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the E.T. ripoff, which it's basically a commercial for McDonald's. There's actually a scene where they go into McDonald's, and for some reason, there's a dance party going on.
Yes.
Keep in mind, it's 1988. The world did things like that. But what's weird is some members of the Washington Redskins are in there. I guess because they won Super Bowl 22 or something. But the thing that I never understood, hey, here's this kid in a wheelchair. What do we want to do? Let's take the crippled kid and make him feel better, because everybody in this place is dancing, except for him.
Yeah.
And McDonald's, Ronald McDonald is in there. He's actually in the film.
Yes.
Not as a cameo, but he's doing magic tricks and stuff like that. Just very weird. The alien family of Mac, which Mac stood for mysterious alien creature.
Just awful.
And but they rob a grocery store and then they blow it up.
Yeah, I saw that.
Very different from E.T. Really edgy. E.T. comes to town and. You already mentioned probably the most famous scene. This is the one that Paul Rudd shows.
Every time he goes on a talk show. Yeah.
It's the kid, for some reason, there's a chase, and he goes off a cliff in the wheelchair.
Into the water.
Did they not have brakes on wheelchairs back in '88? I can't remember, but anyway, that's that Mac and Me. I challenge you to find a worse movie.
Well, I you know what?
Kid movie or otherwise.
We've reversed our orders because you had Super Babies 2 at number 5. I have it at number 1 because it is the worst thing possible you could ever see with a kid or torment a kid with at number 1. Super Geniuses 2, like George said earlier, wastes the talents of John Voight. And you know, even Scott Baio, you know, who's not known for his you know, great acting ability. Everybody's wasted in this film. So
if you watch it, you should be wasted. Actually, a good role for Scott Baio.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, in defense of Scott Baio, he was good in Arrested Development and a couple other things, but this movie is just inexcusable. I mean, the original movie is my number 2 because it's so terrible. I didn't think they could top it, but amazingly, they did. So there you go. At number 1 for me, Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2 from the year 2004 is the one that should be, you know, never, ever, ever seen again.
Okay, so Jim, here's what we end up with.
Okay.
We've got 3 where we overlap.
Okay.
So we know Mac and Me is going to make it in. Super Babies, you know, because Super Babies 1 and 2, I mean, who cares? It's
yeah. So
it's
both
the
of those
same
films go in there.
Awful concept.
Yes. Yeah.
Garbage Pail Kids.
Yes.
So that is 3.
Okay. So this is the tough part.
This is where it gets interesting, guys.
So you mentioned the 2 ones that are kind of off the charts are that we didn't agree on. I say Judy Moody and.
In fairness, I have never seen Judy Moody, so I can't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you have? What was your film again?
I've got Mike Myers and Cat in the Hat.
That's terrible. Yeah.
And Super Mario Brothers.
Ooh, those are both bad.
I will be pleased if either of those 2 films warn the future about what.
I think because Dr. Seuss is so loved and his product is out there. And people love his product, that they should avoid Cat and Hat with all possible. So they
might be okay if they see Mario Brothers. See, because Mario Brothers, that's a strong little franchise for video games.
See, Judy Moody, a young girl might like that. They'll watch it later and be like, I can't believe I like that. But Super Mario. That's tough. I'm gonna. So we have 4 movies on there. The 2 Super Babies, Mac and Me, and Garbage Pail Kids. So we need 1 more, right? I'm gonna vote for your Cat in the Hat only because I want to warn the future about seeing a Dr. Seuss product that is inferior. And I'm not a big fan.
If they see the movie before they read any of his books, should they uncover some of his books, then they're just going to burn them.
Yeah,
I mean they're going to quarantine that whole area. And
I'm not a huge fan of the Grinch movie either. So I mean, not that it said it made my list, but it's probably in my top 15.
Yeah. They did some weird stuff in that too, but yeah.
Did you have any honorable mentions where I'd be like, you would really kind of, because I have like the Flubber movie with Robin Williams, just waste the time. Robin Williams, that was just terrible from 1997.
The original is fantastic.
Yes, the original's great, but yeah.
Here's my honorable mention. This one was hard because there's so many bad movies. Alvin and the Chipmunks 2.
Yeah.
Hotel for Dogs.
Yeah.
Air Bud, a dog plays basketball.
Yeah, but I you know what? I kind of like the original Air Bud. Just I know it's crazy, but I got to disagree with you. Garfield, yeah.
Son of the Mask. The Mask is good.
The Mask
Jim
is good.
Carrey.
Son of the Mask. Yeah, I've never seen Son of the Mask, but I heard it was awful, so I stayed away.
Kazam
with Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, he's basically Aladdin.
I think people need to be warned in the future about movies starring sports stars. So I'll let that go ride.
Does that make the
capsule
or
that is a different category?
Okay,
that is bad movies
just
starring sports stars.
Warnings. Okay, and this breaks my heart. John Hughes was huge in the 80s, but he made a movie called Baby's Day Out in 1994.
Oh, yeah. It was like a Home Alone for babies, where the baby was like beating up a bunch of robbers or something.
Yeah.
It's almost like a live cartoon. That cartoon you saw with the baby was like.
Yeah. So that almost made the list, but I confined it down to the 5. But what's your honorable mentions?
I mean, like I said, I didn't have many because I knew my list was so strong. but Flubber was originally on the list because I did think that there was a waste of rock. I remember seeing that in the theater and being
the Fred McMurray one
is bad. Yeah, absolutely. My
fantastic.
Professor's great, but I was like, why did they do this? And why don't I care about anything?
And it's Robin Williams. Robin Williams knows how to make comedy.
Yeah,
knows how to make comedy even with Disney.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. That if it were 6, yeah.
Because a movie's bad when they never show it again. Like, I mean, Robin Williams plays on the weekends, as well.
Yeah, right.
But I've never seen anybody like play flubber. Wow. So there you go. So our capsule, I think, is set for this week.
So we got these 4. What's
Yes.
going to be 5? Are we putting flubber in here?
No, I think we're gonna have to go ahead and go with probably Mario Brothers.
Okay, Super Mario Brothers.
We'll go and take one from the musicals.
We've got Mac and Me, Super Babies, Garbage Pail Kids, Cat in the Hat, Super Mario Brothers. So let's talk about the top 5 of our gym class sports.
Yes.
We both agree war ball, dodgeball.
Dodgeball,
whatever,
yes, yeah.
whatever you want to.
Yeah, war ball,
whatever you wanna
dodgeball.
call it there.
We got the dodgeball, war ball, and we got volleyball too, which is jungle or regular. Makes it.
Okay.
I put up a good 5.
I kind of feel bad about the badminton stuff now since you almost majored in it or something. I don't.
No, it's a great game, so I think it should make the list.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, crab soccer. If you got to be really young to play crab soccer, because it'll mess with your back. So I don't know if that should actually make the list. But you had. I had relay races. What do you think about that? As far as like, actually running, you don't really do anything, need any equipment or anything like that.
It's very simple. Since you were the slow kid, this is going to pay off here.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the slow kid. I'm going to
I'm going to win relay race.
You're going to get the relay race.
Good.
So we need one more. We've got one more to go.
And then we had
for the future.
We had hula hoop on my list. I already got rid of crab soccer. So in the hula hoop, I'm not really tied to. What did you have that you had? Something else.
I had kickball.
Kickball needs to make it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So here we
go. I was
go.
confused when I originally got the message on this. I wasn't sure if it was the worst or best, so I put a combination of both.
It can be very confusing from the future. So we end up with, in no order, badminton, dodgeball, warball.
Yes. Gotcha.
It's like what warball does on its day off. Relay races for the slow kid, volleyball, and kickball. So I think that's a pretty good list. If you want to go ahead, let's get the capsule here. Oh, God, this one's heavier than they usually are.
All right.
And
who's digging today?
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait a minute. The show's about to be over. What about our guest?
No, I got a text here. Miss Lynch she's stuck in traffic. She's not going to be able to make it.
Wait a minute. You told me.
I've already started the caps. I know, but I already started the capsule.
You told me that.
We've got to put this thing in.
I know.
Now.
And I believe
you hear the beeping?
Yeah, our time is up. But way to go. Anyways, good show besides the guest.
Well, we'll try to get her back.
Good show besides the guest.
Sorry, Jim.
All right. Next episode, we'll see you.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks for listening.